I have tried to upload a video from the browser to Twitter every week for 3 months. It doesn't work. It still doesn't work.
So how do you do it from your phone?
So I airdrop it to my phone and upload it from my phone.
Dang.
And then I copy and paste whatever I was going to use as a caption from the desktop to the phone.
How does Mr. Beast do it with his full videos?
Honestly, I don't know.
12 people
I tried
doing
in
it.
Safari, Chrome, and Arc. It's just broken as hell.
Dang.
Yeah.
Have you tried Mozilla?
I have not.
Yo, just saying,
That
the
would count as
Firefox
broken.
love from last episode,
That's true.
fantastic. Although all of them feel very good about Firefox for probably real reasons, when mine is just like, I don't want to change, and I don't really know why I
You're
use
just like,
it.
I don't
but-
know, man. I kind of like it. What is up, people of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Waveform podcast. We're all back. We're your hosts. I'm Marques.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm David.
All three of us in the same space at the same time.
Wow.
It's been a minute. In today's episode, we are bringing back the wish lists. We've done this previously. I forgot how many episodes ago we did this, but we have something that we like a lot, but want one thing to be different about. And boy, do we have a lot.
Or something that we don't like because it needs one thing.
Yeah. And we got a bunch of suggestions from you guys as well that we're going to go over and maybe like rate them a little or rank them. We'll see. We'll get there. But before that, we got a couple quick hits from news because there wasn't no news. We can't just go right into the fun part of the pod. We got to dissect some of the crazy things that happened in the news in the week since our last podcast. What happened?
I found a fun little app while reading The Verge that I just thought was funny and wanted to shout out. It's called Bananabin. Did any of you guys see this?
I did.
I thought this was so cool. It's basically a program that you can put on Mac OS where if you're always forget to empty your trash can, it's a little animation where you can set it into 3 different modes between 10 megabytes, 1 gigabyte, or 10 gigabytes. And if the trash can reaches that level, then these flies start flying around the trash can on the bottom, just to remind you that it's probably time to empty your trash because it's rotting down there.
I love this. I love that there are names for these modes.
Yeah.
10 megabyte max is janitor mode. You're always cleaning up. You're on top of your stuff. 1 gigabyte max. Okay, you're the recycler. You know, so you got a bunch of Word docs in there, but don't worry about that. But then you get some big files. 10 gigabyte max is the garbage hoarder.
Oof.
Not looking at anybody.
Middle school kid's bedroom.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in your trash can. There's some flies around it.
I
love
definitely
that.
fluctuate between garbage hoarder and the minimalist. That first one.
10 gigs in our world of media is probably very easy
Yeah,
to
that's like
have
one
on your
download.
trash. I bet all of us at some point in the last month have had more than 10 gigs in our trash can.
I am both. I obsessively empty the trash every day,
And you still,
but it regularly has hundreds of gigs of stuff in it.
That's why you need to empty it every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I checked my trash and I had well over a terabyte. I had closer to 2 terabytes than 1 terabyte in my
That's
trash.
just taking up space on your drive.
Well, not after I hit the empty button.
Yeah.
Terabytes?
I feel like,
Dude, that's like 3 seconds of red raw.
Yeah, true.
You know what?
I was going to say Bananabin needs something for that, where if it's like a terabyte, like a tentacle like comes out and starts reaching around, like, please, God.
Yeah,
clean
that's
me.
another level. Wait, there's a weird behavior, and I don't know if it's just Mac OS, but if you have an SD card, for example, and you pull a bunch of things off the SD card and delete them, they go to the recycling bin, and then you eject the SD card, all of that stuff in the recycling bin stays there, but becomes invisible when you eject the card, and still takes up space on my drive. And when I plug the SD card back in,
appears.
it says it's empty, but I can't put anything on it because it's still full because the stuff that's in my recycling bin is still taking up space. Has anybody else had this problem?
Linked to it.
It's like linked to it.
Ugh.
And until I empty my trash, I can't put anything on the drive.
That's really annoying.
It's very annoying.
I've seen something like that before, and I don't know why, but also in this article from The Verge about this, they said, like, it doesn't work quite well when you have drives coming in. I'm assuming because it gets
That's
confused
probably
with
it.
how that's all working,
Yeah.
and not knowing how much is like in there versus, I don't know. But it's a free app. I think you have to like sign up. You have to email them right now, and they are going to charge a little bit in the future.
Oh
but
my God.
I just thought it was funny. I'd pay a couple bucks for that.
Yeah.
I'll continue obsessively emptying my trash.
Yeah, I want to point out that my trash can is currently empty.
Same.
No flies here.
No fly zone.
I was going to say the same thing. Great minds. Okay, what is this Instagram AI thing? Because this has been getting a lot of attention.
Okie dokie. Here we go. So, a while ago.
Is this big of a deal?
I think I wrote this down in here, and then I think I had the tab open. I was like, David will have plenty to say about this.
Yeah.
It all starts with Sputnik.
1986. So a number of months ago, when DALL-E came out and all of these AI image generators started to get more popular, and Adobe started coming out with Firefly and all this stuff, a bunch of these platforms started to be like, oh, we kind of have some sort of responsibility to show users what is AI and what is not AI.
Yeah.
So Instagram, owned by Meta, who also has an AI image generator and therefore has even more of a responsibility to somehow tag things as AI, just decided that on Instagram, they were going to basically like look at the metadata of images that were uploaded. And if there was like traces of this was AI generated, then we're going to tag it as such. The problem is that Adobe, in also an effort to tag things as AI because they also offer an AI image generation platform, now puts like this kind of metadata inside of exported images for many different functions in Photoshop. So in my opinion, this should only be added to the metadata if you like fully generate an image, but they're putting that in the metadata for generative fill, for, I don't know, resizing, for some reason.
Liquify tool?
It's kind of unclear. It's kind of unclear like what they added it for. All I know is that a number of my friends who are specifically film photographers have been getting the made with AI tag stamped on their photos, which are, you know, because they just made basic edits in Lightroom because everyone edits their pictures. But they have told me that they didn't even use any of the like new AI features like generative fill or any of this kind of stuff. But for some reason, Adobe is so hell-bent on making sure that there's some sort of tag in the metadata that they are still labeling this as made with AI. And the Instagram tag for an AI generated image or whatever is just made with AI, which obviously causes a ton of confusion because if you just did some basic color adjustments and edits and then it got tagged made with AI, it's like, no, the image was not made with AI. Maybe there
Well, it was made with, you know how it's like includes 100% juice?
Made with
It was
apple
made
juice.
with AI, but it wasn't made with AI.
Yeah, it should be like includes some AI edits or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lot of people got very pissed at this because it was basically causing misinformation. A lot of my photographer friends were like, I did not make this with AI. I don't know what you're talking about. And so Instagram has now swapped out the tag. Doesn't make it a lot better. Now it just has a little tag that says AI info. And then you click on it and it gives a little description of like, here's the reasons that we tagged this AI info, and it could have been used with generative fill, or it could have been made as a model, as an image generation model. Yeah. So I don't know. They swapped it out. It's better than made with AI, but it's still pretty frustrating because, again, I've had friends that literally just use the crop tool, and now it says made with AI. And so the only way to seemingly get around this, if you're using an Adobe product to edit your photos, is to like take a screenshot of your pictures and then upload that to Instagram, which is very frustrating.
Sounds insane to us, but you'd be shocked how many people do that.
I think it's frustrating, but like it's erring on the side of caution because I'd much rather have a lot of people see some photos that aren't edited with AI and be like, maybe there are AI, than nothing being labeled at all, and then a bunch of AI created misinformation photos with no warnings at all.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the far more dangerous thing than being like, oh, this isn't a real photo.
Yeah. I mean, it's even worse on Facebook.
It's
Obviously.
worse. The first thing I saw with this is like, this needs to be on Facebook because Facebook is just all AI generated like rage bait boomer content.
Which is it's surprising to me that they have this on Instagram and not Facebook.
It's
because it's
absurd.
a way worse problem on Facebook.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also like there's a tag, but is there also some distribution change associated with it? And maybe they won't tell us, but like if your Instagram and you've identified an image as made by AI, do you then not share it as widely?
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't think they would probably tell us the answer.
Yeah,
to
not
that.
sure. Not sure.
But that would be annoying if you're a photographer who crops their photo and suddenly you're getting restricted because you cropped it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just having a tag that's like this was made
It's-
with AI when you've been like sharing images for years and
It sucks to have that tag. I think it sounds like Adobe needs to do a better job at the metadata
yeah.
provided in there. Because like I understand cropping, color correction, whatever. None of that should ever be anywhere close to AI.
Where's the line?
That's the hard
it
part
is
because
weird.
you can't say completely made with AI because you can have a photo and then have sections of a photo that are like AI generated
Do
inside
you
of
erase someone
Photoshop.
from the background? Should it say made with AI?
This is
yeah.
such a hard
Yeah.
I feel
thing
like
to talk
edited
about.
with AI or includes AI elements might be better.
I guess my only worry with that is then like when it is somebody trying to create something majoritively made of AI because it's fake, how do they skirt around that and be like, oh well,
yeah.
it's just part of it's edited with AI when really they're the ones trying to cause harm and actually
Yeah.
doing it.
It's complex because like they've had content aware fill for a really long time and now they added generative fill and most people use generative fill just as a better version of content aware
is,
fill.
yeah.
But you can add wholly new elements to the photo if you type in a description. But otherwise, it's just a better version of content aware fill. So, like, is content aware fill not AI, but generative fill is AI, even if you don't?
If you use it for the same thing.
Yeah, if you use it for the same thing.
Fill in some trees behind something you erased.
Yeah, or like,
Yeah.
it's usually like getting rid of some dust spots or something on your film. I don't know.
But what's funny is like it seems like they're leaning the cautious way, but then like you said, not putting it on Facebook. Where it's being
Facebook
used
is so
the worst.
much
Yeah.
worse. It's so much worse.
Which is crazy. If you're going to be cautious where you need to be cautious. I don't. Just all of this kind of sucks, and it's another thing that sucks for the people who use things responsibly because of the people who use things
not
harmfully.
responsibly. Yeah. Yep.
It's always got to ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Marquez, when you were like, where should the line be? And it made me think about this sort of fun fact that is, if you are an actual historian, please add more details in the comments, because I know this is like, I'm going to gloss over a lot here. But there's a lot of really famous pictures of Abraham Lincoln that are completely doctored. Like his head superimposed on other people's bodies because his body was so weird. And these pictures are like all over history textbooks and like hanging in the White House and stuff like that. So even before AI, things have been, even before Photoshop or the computer or like, I guess electricity was a thing. But stuff has been seriously
Doctored.
I mean,
faked.
it used to be paintings before that, and an artist could paint someone however they wanted.
Yeah.
This is a true what is a photo.
Yeah, well, when Marquez said that before, I was like, quick, move on. We don't need to get into the photo. Maybe we can just link the what is a photo episode
Yeah.
here, and you can go listen to that part now.
Nothing
You
is
want
real.
if you have an 8-hour car ride.
Yeah.
I also want to say I'm not trying to say this doesn't suck for photographers. I
Yeah.
just get the both sides of it. But this sucks when you take
yeah.
a real photo and
Yeah.
now it says AI made.
I get it. Like there's so many things that are just being flooded with AI slop. Like even Adobe's own, they have this image section where you can, like, if you have a license with Adobe, you can download different stock images. Adobe Stock is what it's called. And now more than half of it is just AI generated images.
Wow.
And they all look like garbage and there's no way to filter it out. And they all have really garbled text that you can't see anything, because they had this thing where like you could use Adobe Firefly to generate an image and then you could put it on Adobe Stock and sell it. And then
So
you have,
that became like the drop shipping of the 2024. Just
Basically.
like, I just generated thousands of images and listed them all for $1, and people might buy them.
except they're like $60.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I think Adobe Stock too has to be approved, don't they? You have to like submit it.
If they have to be approved, then they're not doing a very good job of figuring out what's good and what's not. Because most of that stuff, you literally there's text on it that is illegible or like has random letters, and it's really, really bad. And there's no way to filter it out. So in so many ways, like all of this AI stuff is just like clogging the internet in so many formats. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe we do need to do that dead internet theory episode, because this is a major part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in their defense though, to play devil's advocate, if I was Adobe, I would 100% be doing the same thing. Everything is getting slapped with that metadata that says this
Over-index.
is AI. Like, yeah, like I'm not taking any chances.
The other
You're not going to blame me on this.
The other funny thing about it though is like the people who would actually see those tags and care about them are probably the ones who are getting it tagged on them when they're not using it, and then the people who are dumb enough to believe all of that are just not seeing that tag at all. So
Yeah.
everything sucks.
Everything sucks.
Everything's broken.
Now that we're depressed,
Speaking of AI changing a lot of stuff,
more AI.
Yeah.
Google AI.
what a great segue.
Yeah.
Google
All right.
AI.
So there is a little new exclusive piece from Android Authority. We'll link it below. Sort of detailing everything we're expecting with Pixel 9 and Google deciding to umbrella everything together into a bucket called Google AI that includes some existing features we've already seen and has some new features. And that will all probably be announced alongside Pixel 9 in a couple weeks. I think this makes a lot of sense. I made an entire video pretty recently called AI as a feature versus AI as a product. This is very much AI as a feature. We're just giving you a bunch of features on your phone. And so it looks like this. Basically, Circle to Search will be inside of Google AI because that's basically what's happening. It's recognizing the image, searching it, using semantics, figuring out what you're looking for, giving you results. Great, super useful. There's a new one, though, called Add Me. And we're not really sure how it works, but the text says, make sure everyone's included in a group photo, which could be as creepy or as regular as you're imagining it.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
Yeah.
I was wondering, there's two ways this could go.
Yeah, wait.
There's two ways this could go.
Make sure.
We're very unclear of what this actually means, but Google has done some really creepy stuff in the past with image editing. So the creepier way that this could go is, say, like you're with your friends, somebody has to take the picture. So
Yo, Photoshop me in.
yeah,
I got you.
exactly. So
No, I don't want the AI tag on Instagram.
the craziest kind of creepy thing would be if you took the photo and it also took a photo with the front facing camera and then somehow created your body.
AI creates your body, stitches you in.
Yeah,
that's good.
that's probably not going to happen, but also I've seen crazier things.
It's Google.
I was the defender of the face swap thing.
The best shot.
The best shot.
Best
yeah.
take or best
Face
shot.
swap is so much better of a name for that.
That's what's happening.
But like, so my guess on this would be like you take a group photo, but it sees that in the groups of photos you took that day in that location had someone else. Then would it be like, oh, should this person be included in the group, and then squeeze them over? And I defended face swap. That's weird.
I get what you're
If
saying.
we're adding whole new people to things,
You're like-
that's my line.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, okay. You're on a hike with 5 people. One guy's got the Pixel. He's been taking the group shots of 5 people over and over again, and then
Been there,
he
am I
takes.
right?
And then at the end of the hike, he takes like 3 or 4 pictures where they're actually in it, but it's not all 6 people, obviously. And Google goes, I can make sure everyone's in the picture, and then just morphs together one giant group photo, and you're like, oh, okay. Now I have a photo of an image of a moment that never really happened, but maybe that's useful because now we're
I
all in
was
the
there.
group photo.
Yeah.
And I'm just picturing like you got photobombed a couple times, and then they picture like they just add the photobomber
Yeah.
to all your pictures, and you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could go wrong. Could be creepy.
Another option I could see is you're taking a photo with the regular camera, and one of the people in the group photo is like slightly cropped out of it because you're trying to cram everybody in. Maybe it takes a photo with the wide angle camera and the main camera, and then it magic erasers moves.
Okay.
Or magic edits moves them into the image so that they're all in the frame. That'd be my guess, because I could actually see that happening. I feel like that could
I see how that makes sense.
be possible.
The name "add me" sounds like we're adding something that's not.
Yeah, add me.
Yeah.
Add me, yeah. The naming
Add me
of
to the picture.
It's like when someone's taking the picture, they're like, yo, add me to that picture. Like literally add me to the picture.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be someone who's completely not in the picture.
What is a photo?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's what's
This is
happening.
so weird.
But yeah, it's in there. That's under the umbrella of Google AI. But there are a couple more. Another one is called screenshots, and the text reads, find the info you need from your screenshots, which obviously if you already have screenshots, you can search through them with Google Photos. But I think a lot of people like me take a lot of screenshots just to remember things. And people have called this like the Microsoft recall of Android, but without it's not just constantly looking at what you're doing. It's only with screenshots you take.
Yeah.
So boarding passes, whatever. You probably take screenshots of useful things you need to remember. This is going to be a nice little tool to help find the info in those screenshots. kind of doesn't seem that different from what happens in photos, but we'll see.
Yeah, it sounds like the exact
Yeah.
same thing.
I don't know. People are speculating that they're going to add like special metadata to the screenshots based on the text and make it easier to index and search.
search.
But for some reason, you can already do a lot of that semantic searching in Google Photos. Yeah.
They're
And it's
so indexed already.
Yeah.
But
I'm very
great.
very curious what that means.
I just found something on my phone yesterday, I think, that archives screenshots after 30 days now. And it's the best thing ever.
Which is good if you never need that information again.
You never need that information again.
Right in Google
I've
Keep.
needed screenshot
I
info
don't know.
for a while.
The only screenshot I want to keep is I take a screenshot of my homepage with the folders up with the apps, because if I accidentally mess an app up and then it's gone, and then I cannot figure out how I had it set up until I spend like days
You need it on
second
day
naturing
31.
trying to click things. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the last one is called Studio, and the text reads, "You imagine it, Pixel creates it." So it kind of sounds like just a straight up image generation tool built into the Pixel, kind of like, the AI Image Playgrounds app we just saw Apple add to the iPad and the iPhone, or it's just the iPad, I guess.
No, I think it's the iPhone too.
It has a dedicated app on the iPad.
Doesn't it have a dedicated app on the iPhone too?
Oh, it's not.
Maybe
enough
not.
data. Maybe not.
I don't know.
But same idea. You just type a prompt and it just makes an image for you. And then TBD, how much creativity it gives you. Is it a couple set styles? Is it photorealistic? Who knows? But it's just like, hey, we got Dolly and we put it on your phone, and now it's called Studio.
If we get something as creepy as the terrified mother from the Apple Intelligence
Can't believe
event,
they shipped that.
then I
My
would be
new
okay
favorite
with it.
stuff emoji.
The more I look back at that, the more I'm shocked that made it. That thing is that was a wild image.
Yeah.
Wait, can
Anyway.
I ask a question that might be dumb?
No.
And I probably should have asked at the start of this conversation.
Wow.
The Google, when we're saying coming to Google AI, or like, is this replacing Assistant?
No, I think this is like a new section on your phone where they're just putting all the AI stuff, like an AI section.
What? What are you doing, Google? What
Yes.
the fuck is all of this?
Yes.
Also, my normal assistant now, every time I do something, it's just like, do you want to do that with Gemini? And I'm like, I would if you did it together. But
Yeah.
that's like saying, do you want to not use the thing you just did?
Do you want to not use me?
I don't.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to package these features. I think
No, it's
No, this could all be one thing.
It could have been Google Assistant.
My favorite thing in here is it says, Gemini, your AI assistant built in, but assistant is lowercase. So now I know it has nothing to
just
do with
feel-
assistant. I think we're getting rid of assistant eventually. And it's going to be Gemini.
I think so.
But this weird, awkward stage of like, I'm dating a new girl, but still living with my ex of a Gemini assistant is very confusing.
I agree with that. I'm just saying, if you're a smartphone
That's so
company
good.
and you have this wide variety of AI features that kind of have nothing to do with each other, how do you inform the user of all of them in one place without burying them in each app?
I think it's easier to inform the user than being like, hey, do you know all these things you like? Well, if you want to use the new stuff, too bad. You can't use the old stuff
I'm
anymore.
just sad because Google has had AI features for literally forever on the Pixel.
Yeah.
Like every year they introduce new AI features and they don't need to brand it as such.
I think that's my theory, is people just didn't know about them or use them at all. And they built, like, we know about them. We know about Circle to Search. We know about the things like searching inside of images inside Google Photos and like all the indexing it does. But do you think regular people do that on a regular basis?
Probably not.
In this age of AI, Google's kind of trying to shove them all in front of you. Like, look, here's the AI section where we've cleverly named all of these things so you can like poke around and actually find them useful. I think that's what they're trying to do here. I agree with what you're saying about Gemini and Assistant should be.
So
together.
I agree with what you're saying as well, but I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Does this now make all those people who didn't know about it before know about it? I think everyone just skips all of this again, and
I think it's
still
their
teach
version
someone.
of like Apple Intelligence, you know?
Right. It's what Apple just did with Apple Intelligence. They've grouped it all together. And they don't even have a section in the settings app where it's like, here's all the Apple Intelligence stuff. They just call it Apple Intelligence and then just spread them out through apps. Like it's writing tools inside of certain things. It's math notes inside of Calculator. It's Siri. It's
But that's why all this inside of Google Assistant, I think, would make more
I
sense.
don't think Math Notes
I
is
think it's,
considered
well-
Apple Intelligence.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this stuff will be built into Gemini and no one will ever find it.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree.
So they're just putting it at the top in an AI bucket so that people find it.
I think that is a good idea ultimately, But
And all of our parents will just be like, update. Oh, cool. And never see this.
This is better than them never even seeing it.
True.
Wait,
True.
I maybe misunderstood. Is this replacing Gemini?
No, this includes.
Oh, wait.
Have you seen the
No, it is
screenshot?
Gemini.
No.
Okay, the screenshot is of I guess what they're thinking a leak of this menu will look like. It's just an AI section in the settings, and you open it up, and it's like, here are all of the AI things on your phone. And at the top, it's like Gemini and Assistant. And underneath, it says Circle to Search. Here's what you can see on your screen. Underneath, it says Add Me. It's a feature where you can make sure everyone's in your photo. So it's just, here are all the AI features.
Okay.
And you can probably poke into one and try it out, and it'll give you probably some visual demo of how it works.
This is giving me big vibes of like when I have too many things on my desktop, so I create a new folder, drag everything into there, and just call that new desktop.
That's exactly what's happening.
I usually call it sort later and then never get to it.
But if you're a $1 trillion company, you call it AI. So
I guess
There you go.
the question at the real base of this is, where does this screen appear? What is this screen? Is this a thing that pops up when you first
Maybe
start
when you're
your
setting-
phone and you're
setting up
setting
the
it up?
Pixel,
When you
yeah.
update your phone later, is this going to set up? Or is this just in the settings somewhere? And
I'm guessing it's in the settings and it's at setup.
that's
Because you know
I
how
think
on,
setup makes the most
you know how on
sense.
Pixel that you'll get that redundant notification that pops up every now and then, or persistent notification that's like, finish setting up your Pixel, and you click it, and then it just basically tries to teach you how to use your phone.
Add contacts.
And you just scroll
Sign
just
in.
enough so it stops annoying me about it.
Right. Because
yeah.
it always pops up unless you do every single thing inside of it.
Yeah.
So,
It's gonna jump in that bucket.
yeah, probably. Now that I'm depressed about that image generation studio, I think that we should take it to trivia.
What a segue.
Smooth like butter.
Like butter. Question number 1. Bananabin is one of many useful utility apps for macOS, but macOS's close cousin, iOS, has had more than its fair share of useless apps.
Hey.
Which of the following iOS apps
Is real.
is a fake app?
The lighter was super useful. I don't know what you're talking about. And the gun.
Number 1, this app is called Blower. Blower completely juices your iPhone speaker to the point where it can blow out a small candle. Nothing more, nothing less. App number 2, BOV Turbo. Mount your phone to the windshield or A-pillar of your car, and it will use the gyroscope and accelerometer to monitor your car's performance and display a fake turbo boost gauge. This does not add boost to your car. You cannot plug it into your car's computer and monitor real boost. It just has an arbitrary boost value, and it will play a psh sound out of the speaker
Nice.
for turbo
Worth it.
lag. C, cookie clicker. I'm just going to read this directly from Wikipedia because I think it explains it so much better than I ever could. The user initially clicks on a big cookie on the screen, earning a single cookie per click. They can then use their earned cookies to purchase assets such as cursors and other buildings that automatically produce cookies. Upgrades are also available and can improve the efficiency of clicks and buildings, among many other mechanics that allow the user to earn more cookies in different ways.
This is a crypto scam.
This is 100%.
The game lacks a conventional ending.
Did
or-
Jesse Lou make that?
Yikes.
Or D, Chromios.
Game lacks an ending. It's hilarious.
The App Store now allows emulators. So what better to emulate than Google's smash hit OS for Chromebooks? That's right. Now you can use all of your favorite Chrome OS apps and experiences
Which are just Android apps.
emulated for iOS.
What?
That's it.
Okay.
Well, we'll be thinking about that one for a while. We'll have the answers at the end like we usually do, and we'll be right back.
Support for this show comes from Meta.
Have a question or need how-to advice? Just ask Meta AI. Whether you want to design a marathon training program that will get you race ready for the fall, or you're curious what planets are visible in tonight's sky, Meta AI has the answers. Perhaps you want to learn how to plant basil when your garden only gets indirect sunlight. Meta AI is your intelligent assistant. It can even answer your follow-up questions, like what you can make with your basil and other ingredients you have in your fridge. Meta AI can also summarize your class notes, visualize your ideas, and so much more. The best part is you can find Meta AI right in the apps you already have: Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Messenger. Just tag Meta AI in your chat or tap the icon in the search bar to get started. It's the most advanced AI at your fingertips. Expand your world with Meta AI.
All right, welcome back. We're in the mood for some wish lists. This is that time of year where there's about a bunch of tech that's about to come out, but we also kind of want a bunch of tech to exist that doesn't right now, and we felt like if we put it out on Twitter, we could get some more suggestions. Sorry, X.
It's Twitter.
It's Twitter.
That's my first one. X, but called Twitter.
It's Twitter. It's still Twitter.com. It still brings you to Twitter.com. But we asked you guys on Twitter and Discord if you had more, and boy, did you.
They
So-
made a list and they checked it twice.
It's good stuff. So the format of the wish list basically is X, but with Y. That's basically the whole thing. I have a piece of tech X that would be amazing if it also had Y, or if it didn't do this, or if it was just different in this one way. I kind of just blasted a bunch out on Twitter. I don't know if we want to start with those.
Well, so what was funny is we did this a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
Actually, it was like 3 months ago at this point, but a lot of people really liked it. Someone on our Discord named Abby was like, can we do this? Can we send you ideas? And
Please.
we were like, oh, that's such a great idea. So we tweeted it for all of our audience too. And then Marques is like, no, I've got some. And then you rattled off like 10 different things
I've
on
probably
Twitter.
said all of these at some point before.
Yeah. So let's do yours first, and then we'll go to our audience suggestions.
Okay.
But
I want your guys' reactions to if you agree or disagree with these.
sure.
I think you'll probably agree with a lot of them. Okay. The first one I said AirPods Max, but with USB Type-C.
And you can turn them off.
I mean, there's a lot of
Yes.
other ands,
And has a real case.
and can fold, and isn't 10,000 pounds.
Yeah, okay.
But like, just give me USB-C at least.
Fair.
Yeah.
Extremely fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Logitech MX Master 3, but with notched side scrolling. Can I get an amen?
Amen. Oh, you scared
Do you know
me.
what I read the other day? MX Master 3 for lefties. Apparently, they don't make a lefty version of it.
True. Yeah.
I've never thought of that, but that mouse has been like the only recommendation throughout every
That's a
single
good
one of
point.
these channels in our studio. And all the lefties out there
You know what I just
are
remembered?
feeling left
not
out.
an ambidextrous
left
mouse
out.
at all.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
I just remembered something,
what?
You're a lefty.
and I'm totally calling him out, but I don't know if this is weird or not.
Uh-oh.
My uncle's lefty, and I remember forever ago going over to his house and using the computer, and he uses the mouse, which is a righty mouse, upside down
Wait.
on the right side.
Wait, what do you mean upside down?
Upside down.
You mean like flipped?
Yep.
180 degrees?
No, like
Inverted?
facing him, like
I've seen
facing-
lefties do that before.
Yeah.
Well, with their right hand still, right?
yes, with the
so
right hand
They
still.
tap it with their palm.
How does that help the
Clicking.
I don't
No,
know.
you have the way people I've seen is like you have your hand a little further down the mouse, so you're sort of clicking with the meat of your fingers,
But-
and then it flips your fingers. So now all of a sudden the left mouse button's on the right,
But the
vice versa.
I don't get how that makes.
clickers are on the bottom.
I don't know.
I know.
I just don't get how you're still using your less dominant hand though.
Has
That's
a,
weird.
Wait, he's using his right hand?
He's using,
Yeah.
it's his right hand,
What
but
is
it's an
going-
upside down mouse.
I know plenty of left-handed people who just use a mouse with their right hand.
I'm sure every mouse is righty. Yeah.
Most. Yeah, they have
not
some
all of them,
ambidextrous
there are.
ones.
Yeah, the Magic Mouse is incredible. It's obviously an ergonomic work of art. And it's actually
Hey.
the only ambidextrous mouse.
Really had to get the
There are a lot.
spent
There
a
are
lot of
actually a
time
lot of
ergonomics. Getting it right, clearly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that just popped into my head. I just not notch side scrolling just because I have this Final Cut. It would be nice.
Can I just say that you tweeted this yesterday? Yesterday. Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this
It
week
was
is
yesterday.
going. Oh my god. You tweeted this yesterday, and I literally looked at my mouse and I scrolled the sides, and it didn't notch. I had no idea that it didn't do that.
I also
and
did
now
not
it's
know that.
All I can think
Even
about
though I use one
time
every
I
day.
use it. Yeah,
The
I use
regular
it all the
scroll
time.
wheel is notched. But yeah.
It's weird that one does and one doesn't, for sure.
I'm sure it's a space thing, but yeah, I would like that a lot. Twitter but with real video tools and analytics. I have tried to upload a video from the browser to Twitter every week for 3 months. It doesn't work. It still doesn't work.
So how do you do it from your phone?
So I airdrop it to my phone and upload it from my phone.
Dang.
And then I copy and paste whatever I was going to use as a caption from the desktop to the phone.
How does Mr. Beast do it with his full videos?
Honestly, I don't know.
12 people
I tried
doing
in
it.
Safari, Chrome, and Arc. It's just broken as hell.
Dang.
Yeah.
Have you tried Mozilla?
I have not.
Yo, just saying,
That
the
would count as
Firefox
broken.
love from last episode,
That's true.
fantastic. Although all of them feel very good about Firefox for probably real reasons, when mine is just like, I don't want to change, and I don't really know why I
You're
use
just like,
it.
I don't
but
know, man. I kind of like it.
There's a
I'm
new
here with
browser
you.
that I got tagged in yesterday that they're building.
I did see that.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't
Mozilla?
use Chromium, and it's completely built from the ground up, which is kind of interesting. It's an open source browser project.
We will see.
Yeah. Anyway,
I have a couple more. YouTube, ABC thumbnail testing, but pair those thumbnails with titles.
I like that idea.
1000%.
Simple. I'm sure it's very complicated, but to me, it's simple. Titles and thumbnails are paired packaging.
Yeah.
And if I can only ABC test thumbnails, I need one title that matches all three,
Yeah.
which is way harder.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It can't be that difficult.
I just think it's a very intuitive thing, and I think YouTube knows that that's an intuitive thing, and they're still trying to figure out how to do it.
If I had that feature, I would just add not clickbait to the end of one of the titles.
Interesting.
Just all of them.
I think
how
that's the
Rena-
reason we don't have this feature.
Yeah.
How the Renaissance changed AI photography, not clickbait.
Not clickbait. But only half people get it. So then they can argue about if it's clickbait or not.
Could work. Base iPhone, but 120 hertz.
It's time.
That's not a.
But that will never
exactly
happen.
I saw a
revolutionary
bunch of
thing.
people tweet this at us. Yeah.
I mean, that's a.
yeah.
They call it ProMotion,
Yeah.
and Apple will stubbornly not allow it to be on non-pro phones.
Yeah.
But come on, bro, it's 2024.
Anything called pro is not going on there.
Yeah. Slack, but with working reliable notifications,
Yes, please.
which I know is impossible.
please.
I get it; it's not going to happen. But
Come on, Kez, we're trying to be realistic here.
I know,
Relax.
pie in the sky ideas. This is crazy stuff.
It's wild how many Slack notifications I miss because of how bad the notification system is.
Yeah.
What, bro? Don't you read Slack? Bro, didn't you see my Slack
Didn't you see-
message?
I
know.
can't wait. Someone
I
pull up
see it.
Ellis's Slack right now. And it's just white straight down the
I
left
also
side.
think that there's an issue where, like, if you have a computer open that has Slack on it, and you often don't get a notification on your phone because the computer
Yep.
was like, "Oh, you saw that," and I was
Yeah.
like, "No, I was not at my computer."
A lot of the other ones are also, it's like, it shows like 3 messages in 3 different channels and you click it and it goes to just whatever your last channel was open.
Yeah.
And then you don't see anything there and then you have to go find them, or you're just like, oh, that was it. And then
Yep.
scroll away and then you're like,
Or
I
sometimes
just
it
missed
says
one.
you have like 3 unread messages in this channel, so you go to it, you read them, and then you click off the channel, and it still says you have
Yeah.
3 unread messages in that channel.
I just want to put this out there, okay? Because I feel like I am at the tail end of a lot of Slack-based slander. I've worked here for almost 3 years. I have never missed a deadline. I have never missed a meeting.
Hey,
No,
triple tag.
because I am on top of my game, okay? So what? I'm not participating in 35 group chats at once, okay? I'm here. I'm present. I'm locked in, day out, baby.
Okay, here's another one that I think I don't actually care that much about, but I think a lot of people do. Tesla, but with CarPlay / Android Auto.
I've every car, but with CarPlay and Android Auto.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of new cars have it, and there's a couple notable ones that don't. That would be more appealing to a lot of people if they did have it.
I think last time I may have said Rivian, but with Android Auto.
Rivian's
CarPlay.
another one. They're stubbornly against it. Lucid caved. They didn't have it, and then they added CarPlay. I don't think Tesla's going to, but
I do think that if you add CarPlay or Android Auto, you need to add it elegantly. Because I'm trying to remember that one car that added.
Lucid
had a little window.
CarPlay.
so
It was pretty
bad.
Yeah,
But I bet it still performs better than the software on the Lucid.
it definitely looks better. That's crazy to say out loud. CarPlay in a like cropped rectangular window and a trapezoidal screen looks better than your native software.
It's really depressing.
That's tough.
Or then the Mercedes EQS software that looked like it was running Windows Media Player.
They all do that.
I liked that.
The Mini
300,000.
Cooper, baby. It had the best software.
I mean, that was
the
a
little
twerking
hamster.
AI dogs. There's no better than that. The Germans really got to figure it out.
We hit peak AI years ago. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Last two. For me, anyway. Google Pixel, but with the S24's display.
Specifically the anti-glare coating on the Ultra, or
Yeah, so I would like a high-end Pixel with the S24 Ultra's display, which everything about it, the flatness, but also the refresh rate and responsiveness, the brightness, the anti-reflective coating, and it seems more durable. I don't have nearly as many like visible scratches on this phone that I feel like I usually have on phones that I've used for this long. I've used this phone for 6 months. Sounds not that crazy, but in my world,
That's wild.
that's crazy. So this is the best display on any phone I've ever used.
Marques, I have
I'm
bad
not
news
shy
for
about
you.
that. What?
The Google Pixel 9 is reportedly going to use the same display as the iPhone 16 Pro.
Okay, so I saw this headline. I think that's also fine. The iPhones have really good screens, really bright screens, really color accurate, and maybe a little bit more anti-reflective coating this year after what Samsung did with the S24. That turned out to be great.
I also want to note that I opened Threads yesterday, and it fed me a post from someone who had screenshotted your comment to a tweet saying that you use the S24 Ultra, and they just posted on Threads and they said, MKBHD uses the S24 Ultra. Interesting. And it had like 5,000 likes.
Nice.
And I was like, why is this interesting? This is not interesting.
Breaking.
Got
YouTuber
'em.
uses one of the most popular phones.
What?
I took it out of my
Tech
pocket.
man uses tech. More at
More
7.
at 11.
We're at 11. I think a lot of people figured I use a Pixel, which it's like every 3 months I pull the Pixel back out and I like stare at it. And then I go back to the S24 Ultra.
Because
Like,
it
come
doesn't
on.
have DeX.
No, it's not about Dex. It's not about Dex. It's the software, man. It's close. If I could do another one, it would be S24 Ultra, but with
Pixel
software. But we're already
There is that Pixel launcher that you can run on.
which gets you 70% of the way there, but it's not quite the same
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Last but not least, a printer, but actually works.
It works. The printer industry would go under if that was the case. So I feel like this is the same. Oh, is this a soccer game? I'm sorry, football. I'm gonna get rated.
Sorry.
Sorry.
The second shoe is for the printer industry going under.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah,
Is there an element of like cars get sold, but really they make their money on maintenance at dealerships? Is that the same thing about
So-
printers? Is it just ink?
it's basically the McDonald's Frosty machine.
My man.
Thing.
Got it.
Yeah. For people that don't
Well,
know,
hold on. McFlurry machine.
McFlurry.
You can't go calling it the
Sorry.
Frosty machine.
It's the
guys.
same machine. Oh, you said you specifically. I think you said ice cream machine.
No, you said Frosty
I said
machine.
Gee,
Surprised you
I
didn't catch
rescind
that.
the my man.
I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, for those that don't know, there was a big conspiracy that ended up being true, where McDonald's McFlurry machines, that was an actual accident, break constantly, and there's a company that just fixes them that is like basically owned by the same people that make them, and they have this whole industry where they break on purpose so that they can fund this other company tax things, and it's a ridiculous thing. What is the name of the guy on YouTube? The
Johnny
journalist?
Harris
Johnny
made
Harris.
the most popular video about this, but I think it's been covered by a few other
Yeah.
YouTubers.
I think
as
it's like
well.
one of his most popular videos ever.
Yeah, they are always broken. It's
Yeah.
not just you.
Well, that's as much as I wrote on Twitter in the 7 seconds
That's
it
it.
told me
That's-
took me to come up with those. But we have plenty more from you guys, and I think what we should do is just go through some of the best ones and give our reactions to them.
We have 15 pages
Oh,
of suggestions. That's why this is going to
15
be
pages.
a 2-segment on the pod this week. So, yeah, I think if anyone wants to find one,
I want to just say what tier I think the product would be if it actually happened.
tier the product would be.
Yeah.
You have to give the product a tier before and after then.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
So we're not fully tier listing it, but we're kind of just seeing what the tiers would change
No,
From start to
I'll keep
finish.
track of the tiers.
of both.
Oh,
of
I
new.
see what you're saying.
Or
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can just do new tier list. I don't know.
I'll just
Let's just say the ideas. Let's put the ideas in.
Okay.
Like that's an S tier idea.
Okay.
starting at the top. This one says from Amir, S Pen support on the cover of the Galaxy Fold. And yeah, it's true. The Galaxy Fold's S Pen only works on the inside screen.
Mind blowing.
So I
Yeah.
think it would be nice if it worked on the outside, especially because of how much
Wait,
more usable.
really?
Yeah, that's what, dude.
That's exactly what I said yesterday.
insane.
Yeah, it would be the outside screen is very usable as a regular phone, but you can't use
Yeah,
the
because
S Pen on it.
What?
Can we
Yeah.
pick how we're rating these? Because, like, to me, right off the bat, this feels like an S tier response because it is something that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Feels like it's not that crazy of an ask, but significantly improves the device.
The S24 Ultra S Pen only works on the exterior display.
But it's different because it doesn't have to work with a foldable like plastic OLED cover thing.
So
So
I feel like if you
different
make a
S
pen
Pen.
that can work with something that's really fragile, it should be able to work with something that's really not fragile.
agreed.
Personally, I think this is S tier just because so many of us didn't realize
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
even a thing.
I think that's an S tier reply.
I think this is an S tier reply. I'm going to go from all over the list here.
Go off, King.
I think this is a really good one. And this was actually in the comment section of our last wishlist video. He said, select copy and paste in Google Messages or iOS messages. You can only copy the entire message or take a screenshot in Smart Select. Why?
Okay. Yes, I had an experience with this issue recently. So on Android, if you do the multitask thing, it then allows you to select any part of any message. By the way.
Wait, you're going to have to show me that later.
Yeah, so if you swipe up to the multitask menu and you swipe over to whatever window, you can then hold on any part of any text and copy any snippet of any
Wait,
text.
really? Hold on. I have
Yes.
to try this.
It is great.
This might be...
Do it live.
Nope, didn't work.
Didn't work for me either. It tried to drop in a
What
smaller window.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope. Yeah, it didn't work for me.
Samsung's doing multi-window.
Is it only on Pixel?
You may be
So like,
because Pixel doesn't do multi-window.
what is this?
Oh my God.
Oh,
What
God.
did you do?
Samsung does
Oh,
multi-window.
it's trying to
It's
do.
multi-windowing.
Wow. Well, before they added that multi-window thing,
Maybe that's a Samsung.
you were able to do that. That's weird. Anyway, there's this message I've been trying to copy like a tracking number that Jono sent me like 2 weeks ago, and in Slack, you can't just copy like a certain part of a message. You can only copy the entire message.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying because he wrote a bunch of stuff beforehand. He was like, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, here's the tracking number, blah, 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 blah. And I just wanted to copy the tracking.
Yeah, normally I copy it and then I paste it in the message thing for like sending it. And then I scroll through that and copy the thing I need and then delete all of it.
In an older version of Android, there absolutely used to be a thing where if you multitasked, you could just select any part of any message.
This seems super simple and one of those things that you would use all the time.
Yeah.
A tier.
I'll go A tier just because I don't want to go
A tier.
back to back S tier. But like, yeah, I think that's an A tier
Pretty
suggestion.
good. Yep.
Here's one that I feel like they heard Adam talking the other day. Apple Watch to connect to all my devices, not just iPhone, and be able to work, oh no, as a remote trackpad for navigating them.
That's why I added that.
Wait, that's not
Nice
what
little
I thought he
spin.
was going to say, that you could just connect it to something else for the initial setup, but a trackpad?
That's
Remote
more.
trackpad?
That's S Pro Max. That's like
That's a good idea.
Like if I'm just sitting on my couch, I have Apple TV. Why can't I just like use my watch? Swipe around, select things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess you can use your phone as a cursor on the TV already.
Yeah.
So you might as well use your watch as a cursor. It's pretty small though.
That's pretty small.
Yeah, but if
So
you're
is
just
the
swiping left
trackpad on
and
the
right,
remote.
yeah, I feel like that's pretty.
also with the crown, being able to scroll with the crown.
Oh yeah,
No, I'm about
scrolling.
who said this? Who said this out there?
Terrence.
Terrence, bro. Whatever.
Also,
they're paying
Adam
you, it's not
screenshotted
enough.
this so fast he responded 58 seconds ago. According to the
Damn right.
screenshot.
These are my
Adam got this
people.
in the first minute of it being posted.
Big brain Terrence. I like it. I'm like I said, S Pro. I'm creating an S Pro Max
S Pro
here
Max.
just for this. Awesome
I'm going to say
suggestion.
anything, but if it doesn't have USB-C, please put USB-C in it
S
because
tier.
there's this new Kodak Super 8 film camera that uses micro USB and it's $6,000. And those two things should never, ever, ever be paired together.
That's that should be a federal crime.
I agree. The European Union would do it.
I agree.
We're just too baby to make crazy laws like that.
It's micro USB.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, we have one more before we should take a break.
Sure.
And I think somebody here will like this one a lot. iPhone 13 mini but with good battery.
Pro Max, S Pro Max. In purple.
I mean, to be
In
fair,
purple, too.
the 13 mini had way better battery than the 12 mini.
It did, but that's relative. I mean, the 12 mini was just weak,
Yeah.
and the 13 mini was much better, but still below average.
Yeah.
And I think if it had, by some miracle, like really good battery, like some Zenfone 9 type battery, it would be awesome.
So you know how Apple is apparently like using new battery tech to make that like iPhone 17 Slim or whatever, and everything's going to have better battery life. They should bring back the iPhone mini.
True. And with the silicon, this is something that they've talked about before, like, especially with the new iPad that's thinner, they'd be like, this new silicon, because of how efficient it is the reason we were able to make it this thin. And I think if Apple's able to bring in, obviously, more efficient batteries, but also even more efficient silicon, they can go, the 13 mini, 12 mini, they were ahead of their time. This new silicon, like you could argue when the MacBook Pros were getting kind of slim and weak. We're like, it was ahead of its time. That Intel silicon was not it. But now we're ready for that again.
Yeah.
We're ready for the mini again.
I saw an Intel MacBook Pro this week, and I forgot how thin they were.
Yeah.
And that just seemed like a bad idea, especially using x86. Like, why would they do that? Obviously, they put an i9 processor in that
did.
thing, and it had zero cooling.
They said, let him cook.
Jeez.
They said, let's make a computer that's also a George Foreman grill.
That thing cooked. Man.
That was so obviously a terrible idea.
They did do that.
Insane.
Yeah.
This is twice as thick, and it uses a chipset that's way more efficient.
Man, they really, I mean, no one would buy it. It's still a mini phone,
Yeah, I know.
if we're being real.
I would buy it.
But
While you guys were mentioning it, that kind of makes me want the old MacBook again.
No.
the like 12-inch MacBook,
I want the 12-inch MacBook with an M series processor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And a full screen display.
in hindsight, a lot of Apple products were ahead of their time. The trash can Mac Pro could be a good computer with Apple Silicon, but they just fried an Intel chip in there instead and put a bunch of radio.
I love that they have that with the Intel chip, and now that they could fit something in the trash can, they still have it in that monstrosity cheese grater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
the trash
I mean-
can looks a lot better than the cheese grater.
You know what's funny? The cheese grater doesn't support any GPUs, but the trash can actually had GPUs in it. It's crazy.
Wait, that's a great point.
But did it
Yeah.
have flies buzzing around it?
Fair. Okay, we'll take a quick break. We have way more from you guys after the break, but of course, since we're taking that break, trivia.
Trivia, dude. Woo! So, Ellis said earlier that he had 1 terabyte of stuff in the trash can of his computer.
What was in
And
there?
that's a lot of smarts, but also a lot of data.
Correct, Marquez. That is a lot of data.
Nice, I got a point.
Yeah. How much data exactly, though? How many bytes is in 1 terabyte?
Bytes?
In binary. Closest delta will get the point.
Oh, bytes?
Yes, bytes.
Oh, God.
Megabytes.
Wait, can I have a pen?
David, you're overthinking this. Like I can already tell. You don't need to convert bits to bytes because we're asking about terabytes.
Oh,
Yes.
got it.
You should remind them that this was already a trivia question.
Also, this was already a trivia question, and we picked it because we just thought none of you
Advanced
would
risk
remember.
Nice.
And what is... Yeah.
Acorn's Risk Machine.
Acorn, it's a bot! Are you happy, James?
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Will be.
Support for this show comes from Meta.
Have a question or need how-to advice? Just ask Meta AI. Whether you want to design a marathon training program that will get you race ready for the fall, or you're curious what planets are visible in tonight's sky, Meta AI has the answers. Perhaps you want to learn how to plant basil when your garden only gets indirect sunlight. Meta AI is your intelligent assistant. It can even answer your follow-up questions, like what you can make with your basil and other ingredients you have in your fridge. Meta AI can also summarize your class notes, visualize your ideas, and so much more. The best part is you can find Meta AI right in the apps you already have: Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Messenger. Just tag Meta AI in your chat or tap the icon in the search bar to get started. It's the most advanced AI at your fingertips. Expand your world with Meta AI.
All right, welcome back. We've got a bunch more of your suggestions for best possible products to exist, and we're going to rate them, and we're going to be as harsh as we possibly can.
Do it.
Meaning we won't give them all S tier, because some of them can't be that amazing. But we have a bunch more from Twitter and from Discord. What have you guys found?
Okay, I have one here
Okay.
that I'm interested in your guys' takes on, because I think we might have varying levels of interest in this. Physical fingerprint readers on the back of the phone.
Yep. I would like to
Love
read it
it.
back.
Do you?
That's just
I loved it.
Yeah, I guess it's just a feature, but like, so take maybe
Every.
take the phone you have right now.
Government mandated.
the phone I have right now. Okay.
That plus USB-C,
Here's the
everything.
thing. The phone I have right now, the S24 Ultra, has the ultrasonic fingerprint reader, and it's really good. There are phones that have slow optical fingerprint readers that I would rather have it on the back. A Pixel being one of them, to be honest. I think Pixel, like, put my, like, where the G logo usually is on the back, give me the fingerprint reader there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Here's my take against it.
Okay.
I had the Pixel 7, I think, that had it under the fingerprint, and I liked it at first, but it was a little slow. So when I got the Zenfone and it was on the side, I was like, I'm going to like this so much more because it's more physical. It should be faster. But I got so used to my phone just sitting face down on the table and me just putting my thumb on it that then my thumb on the side of the phone got really weird, or I would have to also do my index finger. That now going back to the S24, I love the under display,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't want it on the back.
Interesting. Yeah, I
I
remember
think I'm full under display now.
the Zenphones was really good. It was on the power button, and it was so fast that if I just picked up the phone with my finger on the power button, it would unlock before I could see any of my notifications.
Sometimes
So I
that's a bad
developed-
thing, though.
Right. So I developed
agree.
the thing where I'd pick up my phone with just like the tip of my finger to press the button so it didn't read so that I could actually see my
See your
notifications.
notifications?
Yeah.
That's a great point.
And it worked.
Yeah.
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 I like that. But face down on the table, you can't press the back of the phone's fingerprint sensor.
You can.
But why would you
What?
unlock your phone
But
while
you
it's
wouldn't.
face down on a table?
No, not face down, face up.
Oh, when it's face up.
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
yeah, you can't unlock it.
Then you double tap.
Sorry, I thought
Put
you
in
were
your
like
pin.
you could
Oh, yeah,
unlock it
face up,
somehow.
face up you can't. That's fair.
Okay.
But it,
So this is like B tier.
I think I'm
It's labeled as
against on the
controversial.
back.
I'm with
sort
it.
by controversial.
Controversial.
I'm with it because the Pixel 4a had it on the back, and that was
Best phone of all
perfect.
time.
It was freaking amazing. I would just take it out of my pocket, already unlocked. I feel like I can't
But
do
only
that
if
with
you put
this.
your finger in the center. See, this solves both problems because you could take it out with your hands on the sides and then you could look at your notifications, or you could put your hand in your pocket with your index
Unlock.
finger going.
yeah. And it would have a nice little like ridge so you could identify it in your pocket and just, it was smooth.
So good. All right, I found one.
Okay.
Unless you have something to say.
Wait, can we
I was-
agree this is a B tier?
I was just gonna
suggestion?
say, like, I feel like for any non-flagship phones, I would want this there because if it's not like the top of the line under display, I would prefer just the fast
The
physical.
only one that has the top of the line under display though is the S24.
Basically, yeah.
Is the S
The ultrasonic
Ultra?
ones.
Yeah,
A bunch of Oppo ones and I think
I'm sure
Vivo
there's a
ones.
couple,
But
but-
yeah,
they have
if it's not that-
ultrasonic.
there are
too?
others with ultrasonic.
Oh.
But the optical ones can get kind of
Yeah,
slow.
and don't work in the rain.
yeah.
Okay, I found one. An Apple Watch that can wirelessly charge without the specific Apple Watch charger, like a
S-tier.
regular wireless charger.
Every
Chi.
watch.
S tier.
S tier, S tier.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is so annoying that you have to put it on a very specific charger that sort of like cradles it correctly.
I have to bring it everywhere.
I
Yeah.
will say it is like I have the Garmin watch, which also has a proprietary charger, which is
so
annoying.
bad.
Really annoying. But I will say the Apple Watch one to me is a little more annoying because it's wireless. I should be able to just drop it on a Qi charger.
Yeah,
Like if you give me the cable, it's a proprietary cable, whatever, annoying, be better, but like whatever, I'll deal.
yeah.
But like you're so close. You're
Also,
right there.
you can charge the AirPods with the MagSafe and with the Apple Watch charger. And that is the only product that you can charge with both chargers.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I use it. I do it every day. Yeah. It's great because I have this dual charger that has a Apple Watch charger and an iPhone charger on it. And I put my AirPods on the Apple Watch charger because I don't use an Apple Watch, and I put my phone on the MagSafe.
I feel
Yeah,
like
Ellis-
most people don't know that.
Ellis has
Probably
used
true.
my charger on my desk, and I've had the AirPods on it, and you've taken it off and put your watch on it.
Yeah.
Well,
Locked in,
Wait,
bro.
but also on,
Day in, day out.
on top of this, Garmin watch, if it's not going to be wireless, do USB-C. Stop giving me this proprietary
Wait, it's
crap.
proprietary.
It's awful.
Dang.
Is it just because it's shallower?
I don't.
It's got to be because
I don't know
it's
why.
shallower.
I don't know what this
Does it really use
cable's
pogo
called.
pins too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely a
watch.
reason, but
And
it's
as
annoying.
being a real outdoor boy with this, so much gunk gets caught in there, and then I have to like
And then you
fish
lose
it out.
one
sometimes.
cable and you're just screwed.
Yep.
Dang.
At least it
Correct.
lasts like 3 weeks. but
Yeah.
yeah. Does the Galaxy Watch have Qi, or does that also have a
Galaxy
proprietary
Watch.
charger?
I think it has Qi. Let me look it up. I think it does.
That would be.
Well, so I think the reason a lot of these are is just because of the way
size.
watch bands work. Floats
Right.
the watch and doesn't really let it sit flat.
Yeah.
And they're the smaller ones fit there.
Yeah.
But it
think
would
that is
still
the
be nice
reason.
to be able to somehow make that work.
Apparently
Yeah.
it's based on Qi, but it's too small of a coil to use regular.
That's what I kind of figured the reason. Like, I don't think a regular Apple Watch could fit on a MagSafe charger because the MagSafe coil is way wider than the
Yeah,
watch.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, I found a really interesting one. Oh, do we want to rate this?
Yeah, wait, what rating
Oh.
was that?
I think that it's pretty good, but I also understand the physical limitations that would not allow this to work.
That's not our problem.
True.
Let's say they
S
solved
tier.
it.
At least A tier.
I would say A tier.
I could be swayed. I was going to go B, but let's go A.
Let's go A. I think A.
All right.
All right, I have a fun one.
Yeah.
Sharon suggests iPod Classic, but updated to 2024 standards.
This would be
USB-C,
so-
Bluetooth, a terabyte of storage. I'm going to throw in on top of what he said, give it OLED and an incredible battery and wireless
Oh.
charging and all that.
And 5G.
So I
And
think
an app store.
I do
big
think
screen.
that there's kind of this renaissance of physical hardware devices coming back
Mm-hmm.
right now. I do think that most people at this point in time do not know how to like load MP3 files onto a device.
That's true.
Like everyone's so used to just using streaming that people are not used to like, oh, how do you even get MP3 files anymore? You know?
I'd rather have this as like the old, not even iPod Nano, but like the clip, just like updated.
The clip-
And
that
because
was a
then if you're
Nano.
just running,
Can I look, status unknown, aka Sharon that tweets? Great suggestion. Can I propose an alternate thing?
Sure.
That I saw someone on Twitter, in Reddit. Someone on Reddit made this really cool thing where they put near. God, I'm having a brain fart moment.
NFC.
Thank you. Wow. Locked in day in, day out.
and on
They
Slack.
put NFC chips in all of their vinyl records, and then they put a little in the sleeves, and then they put a shelf on their wall, and so they put a vinyl record on their turntable, and then they put the sleeve on the shelf, reads the NFC chip, and then a projector in their wall turns on and projects all of the metadata for the album around the vinyl, like when it came out, the track listing,
cool.
who played on it.
I thought you were going to say
it was a touch
I
designer.
did too.
I was about to be depressed. I thought you were going to say they have all the sleeves and they just tap their phone to the sleeve and it starts playing on Spotify.
No, right, but
They have that too.
yeah, they do. But I do,
that as well.
I do think if we're trying to get closer to our music, modern iPod Classic, great idea. But people who can build innovative home launchers for Spotify, I think that's what I want.
I guess I saw that as more of offline music listening and small form factor, like running and stuff like that.
Palma.
I don't think you get anything out of, unless you're like wrong and you are like a hi-fi nerd. I said it. You're not going to get anything really out of like using an iPod Classic versus streaming, in my opinion, other than having a more intimate relationship with your music. And I think there's
I think that's
cooler
what they're
ways.
after.
And I think there's cooler ways to build those relationships.
And I like this idea, and I think that these things are going to get more popular as products like Spotify, who have such a grasp on the market, start to push their users out of using it because it just becomes so expensive and such a horrible experience.
And I think anything we do to increase the emotional value of our albums is important.
I will say, to bring it back to this tweet, I would use a Zune HD today with modern updated specs.
How would you
Ellis
get the
has
music
one
on
at
it?
his desk. It's the
How
Sony
would
Walkman.
I
How would you get the
music
music on it?
I don't know. But I would have to have another modern updated spec, which is a store for music, where every song is 1 cent, and I just buy them for whatever. I don't know.
1 cent.
I just like the idea of the Zune HD
$1.
hardware being updated to being modern, and then using that to play my music.
I think that is the logical conclusion that I come to as well. Is I think about it and I'm like, ooh, a hardware device dedicated to music streaming, and I'm like, okay, what would that look like? Well, I need Spotify because I love my podcasts all in one place. I love made for you playlists, all that. Okay, so then now it just becomes a smartphone.
AI DJ.
And I already have a good smartphone.
I do. But what if I just had like a chair in an empty room and a Zune HD on a table and some headphones?
Yeah, but what if...
Overall, this idea is clearly B tier.
Yeah. But what if you could combine that with a revolutionary mobile phone,
Oh my God.
a widescreen iPod, with
Are you getting
Revolutionary
it?
internet
and
communicator.
a breakthrough internet communication device?
Are you getting it?
Sharon, I highly recommend you go check out our friends at retrospect.com who do sell a iPod Classic modded to 2024 specs.
Ooh.
You can buy this. Don't know
Is
if
that
it has
Bluetooth?
Don't know if it has Bluetooth, but you can get the Bluetooth converter for $15 on Amazon. And
USB-C is sick.
I have a kind of niche one that I think Ellis will like. A USB switcher with more than 4 ports to swap between devices.
I agree.
We never found like one with more 3.0 USB-A.
I don't think we did.
USB 3.0 ports.
Yeah, that's definitely. I would put this in A tier because this is definitely. Although I don't understand.
Why?
I don't understand. It's the same thing. I don't understand why the hubs don't have more Thunderbolt pass through. I don't. If you understand, please let us know because I don't.
If I could buy a small dock that had like 15 USB ports on it and I could switch between 2 computers with a click of a button, I would.
Some of it is
Probably.
definitely about power. But
It's
if you,
definitely
if you
about
have a power supply, if it's a powered hub,
Yeah, if you can plug it in, I'm sure most people would do that to just make it easier to switch between 2 computers.
I don't know. If you can let us know why, please do. Wow, that was so
Oh.
low energy. Hold on, let me
You
do
guys
that
should
again.
tier that one. You were very into it. You should.
I think
tier it.
A tier, Ellis said.
Yeah,
B
no,
tier,
I-
A tier.
I would throw that in.
I'd say A tier for the
in
people who are
A
looking
tier.
for it. The amount of people who
Yeah.
are looking for it are probably D tier.
Yeah, that's a D tier for me.
D
All right.
tier? You think that's a bad idea?
It's not that it's a bad idea. It's that it's such
addressable
a
market is-
specific use case. Yeah, it's so niche.
Speaking
It's
from my
more
Shark Tank
niche
hat.
than S Pen on the outside of the fold. Are you kidding?
When you're right, you're right.
There's a lot of folds out there. All right, I have one that's a kind of interesting one because I'm curious what you guys' takes are on this, and I think it might be different from mine. Sarvesh says Vision Pro, but made of carbon fiber reinforced plastic to reduce mass.
Vision Pro, but 3 times as expensive.
So here's the thing about the Vision Pro. Apple went out of their way to make it as light as possible and as heavy as possible at the same time. Hear me out.
Okay.
It
Do you need to
is-
borrow that tinfoil hat?
No. This
Okay.
is just all facts. We've seen the inside of the Vision Pro before. At least I've seen the inside of the Vision Pro. And inside of that titanium or whatever, I guess it's aluminum enclosure, they have gone to extreme lengths to carve out extra mass. And all of the inside pieces are like the PCB are like mounted on carbon fiber. Like they have carbon fiber inside the headset. Most people don't know this. It's like super, super light for some reason inside of it, but they are still the only ones that chose to make a headset with a huge piece of glass on the outside, with a metal body, and with like screens facing the outside of you. So it's clearly going to be heavy with all those pieces, but they've gone to extra lengths to make it light. It's really weird. So they had all these priorities. It's really well built. So I think what Sarvesh suggests is to take all of the metal and make it carbon fiber reinforced plastic. But I still don't think it would be a very light headset. You would still have a screen and a bunch of glass on the outside, making it heavier than normal. So I think this is like a C tier because it's still going to be a heavy.
I mean, I think what he wants to accomplish is a lighter Vision Pro, which I think we can all agree on. Right?
Yes.
The cheaper one probably will be lighter.
If you're saying Vision Pro, you're still suggesting the screen on the outside and all these other things. I think you can make a lighter VR headset, but you're not going to have Vision Pro features.
I think Vision Pro doesn't need to worry about actual weight, but balance of weight and how they could fix that.
Apparently, there is a padding. Some company made some Vision Pro padding thing that you put on it like the mask, and it's really, really, really good. And that came out like last week, and everyone's raving about it right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, they said it solved like all of the headache problems.
Because the like whatever it's called is like too thin.
Yeah, the pressure that it puts on, it moves the pressure away from your cheekbones, which is where all that pressure goes and like gives you a headache.
Yeah. So no, I just like everyone else, I love the idea of a way lighter headset because Vision Pro is very heavy and uncomfortable after a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my take on that. It's weird. The headset itself is so weird. There's actually a ton of carbon fiber in it already. It's wild.
What would you rate that?
So I put that as like a C because it doesn't actually change the things that are bad about the headset. It's just a cool carbon fiber thing. Someone said Rabbit R1 if it was good.
Yep. S tier. Or worked
F
or
tier.
did anything.
F tier.
If it was good, it would be S tier because it's good.
What is good?
Yeah, that's a great question.
A universal Find My network that works with iOS and Android.
That's like the dream. That's the one that's like
Government mandated.
it's like we all would love that.
I wish.
I don't see how
Isn't
It's
that just
also
tile?
like they're both. I mean, the Android one has been having major problems, obviously. But if it worked correctly, then there are enough iPhones and Android phones that it's not really an issue that you need to merge both of them.
I guess what would be cool is if it was the same network, could you use the accessories of the other thing? So if I wanted to use an AirTag as an Android user, would I be able to use it if they shared networks? But I guess I wouldn't need to because there's Tile, but maybe just the form factor of one's better than the other.
Tile doesn't use Android's Find My device.
So if it was like a slim, because I bet
There's going to be that
people-
Motorola Android Find My device tag that just came out.
Yeah, there might just be a form factor you like better on the other one. So
Yeah.
if it was all intertwined together, would kind of ruin the ecosystem a little bit. The walls would be shaved down a bit, which is
Yeah.
probably the best for all of us.
Love
but
that.
I mean, yeah, S tier. I think that would be great. It's just one that's harder to get there.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think it's S
I
tier.
feel like there's already enough of everything, you know?
Nah, but it's
Well, yeah, but so why don't all those things work together better?
we have nothing to lose but our chains.
Okay, I will say on the Find My device stuff, the fact that Google and Apple work together because of the AirTag stalking thing, so that if you have an Android phone, it will give you a notification if there's an AirTag following you, and you can ring the AirTag from your Android phone if you need to find it because it's following you. That's crazy.
So
That's
but-
like the first time that Apple's ever let an Android phone do anything to any of its
So we do
devices.
know it's possible.
Marques, I see you scrolling in this doc, and I feel like there's one you're going to mention. And if you don't, I'm going to mention it.
You can go for it.
Google Tasks, but they say bring back natural language processing.
What is
They
that?
said they had it apparently at
What do
one
they
point,
mean
but now
by
they
that?
don't.
If I take this literally, Google Tasks with natural language processing,
Pretty much
C tier,
C tier.
because Google Tasks is already D tier.
Basically, like when you type in your task, if you say like, it can pick up times and dates and different things and help just list it and send notifications based on that without having to be like, you could just say like,
But how do you take the trash out tomorrow morning?
and then it will, and then you don't have to then go set the time and date and everything. You just type it in and it fills out the rest of it for the notifications aspect,
Oh,
Yeah.
which a lot of task apps do have. And I remember David telling us about that, David Pierce telling me about that and thinking that sounds cool. And I've stuck with Google Tasks and I do not have that,
Yeah.
but I would like it.
interesting.
But I didn't like the other apps that did have it. So I don't have it.
Well, they did integrate. Didn't they integrate Google Calendar into Google Tasks?
All the way around.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you're right. they do.
Also, there was a little update in Google Keep, my beloved,
Really?
which I've used for many decades, where if you use it on a foldable, I think I actually have.
I bet we've all
I've used Keep since it came out. It was probably about a decade ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you use it on a foldable and you open the phone, you can have two different Google Keeps next to each other.
Oh, really? That's such
That's my nightmare.
double keep.
Have you seen my Google Keep? It's pretty.
It is where my shopping list lives right now because that's where Google Home drops it by default.
Oh,
They haven't let you change that in forever.
I'm surprised they don't put it in Hangouts.
When you ask Google
Oh my
Assistant,
goodness.
add
Sorry.
X to my shopping list, it's had several different places over the years where it's put that. It used to put that in a web portal of just your
The
shopping.
rabbit hole?
The rabbit hole, the Google hole.
As good as that, yeah. And now it's
The
back
G-hole.
to, it was Google Keep. It moved it out of Google Keep to a web portal. Now it's back in Google Keep. Yeah, so.
I really hate that we are completely dictated by these tech overlords. I want more control of my life.
This made me think of Google Chat, which I didn't even know was a thing.
G-Chat.
It's not G-Chat, or
It used to be G-Chat.
it used to be G-Chat, then it was Hangouts. Now it's Google Chat.
Google Chat.
Or just Chat.
Yeah.
It is
Really bad.
terrible.
Yeah, really bad.
We like a friend group of mine who used to use G-Chat, then Hangouts, then went to Slack, then all started hating Slack and like just randomly started messaging in chat now in
Yeah.
Google. Nothing about it works.
Yeah.
Whether you're inside your email browser as like a pop-up or the app is the worst app I've ever used in my life.
And Google employees have to use that as their main thing.
I would quit.
They don't use Slack.
I would
They have
rather-
to use Google Chat for everything.
It's just constantly in the app, like scroll to newest messages, and you can see you're at the newest messages, and then you click it, and it just scrolls up for like 3 minutes, and then you
does
don't know where you are.
Twitter does that sometimes too.
It's incredible how bad it is.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it.
Wait, so what was the feature that we're talking about?
Is the S tier natural language processing in Google Tasks?
I don't know if I'd consider that natural language processing.
Really?
Yeah, natural language processing is just being able to synthesize what you're saying.
Yeah. And then turn it into an action.
and then use it.
I think it counts. It's a basic thing, but
I guess.
it's like if
It's
I
under
tell
the
my
umbrella.
if I tell a regular task app, remind me to take out the trash on Thursday afternoon, it will just remind me to take out the trash on Thursday afternoon and make it a task for today. But if you have natural language processing, then it will say remind me.
Yeah, but you can
Or
also
say
hard-code
take
that.
out trash.
I feel like
trash
I
and
feel like
make
companies have hard coded like keywords like that in before to like go straight to action.
I count that.
Yeah, but wouldn't natural language processing be like if you're like, bruh, there's so much trash. I should do something about this in 6 days.
That's extreme natural language.
bruh.
Then your Apple robot goes and cleans it up for you.
That is AI.
That's S tier.
That's AI.
That's that's Apple Intelligence.
That's AI.
Nobody wants any of this.
I don't know. I kind of
I don't know if any tech company has shipped a single product that a single person has wanted in about 5 years.
That's not true.
As we all say on our Apple Silicon Macs.
Apple Pencil Hover.
Nobody asked for
Erasing things from the background of our photos. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll give Marquez that.
that. Yeah, but it's not. It could be better.
Honda Moto Compacto.
Nobody asked for that.
Checkmate.
But
People don't know what they
the
want,
stuff that
famously.
the stuff that's come out that has been like surprisingly awesome, nobody was asking for, but some companies
You've been in the
made it.
sun too long. Just enjoy the tech with us.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
fine.
tan, man.
David's touched too much grass. He's like, is this tech stuff really worth it?
I was in the mountains. I was like,
I don't need a phone.
I should just move out here.
Meditative.
Should we do one more?
Okay, I have a great one.
Okay.
I think we would end it on.
Wrap
Okay.
it up.
This is S tier for me. I don't really care what you guys say. This is S tier.
Okay.
iPad Mini Pro
S tier.
Yes, S tier.
S tier with
with
OLED.
tandem
Highest
OLED and
S tier.
Yeah,
120
I think
hertz.
that's S Pro Max
This
for
has
sure.
got to be S Pro Max. This is
That is S Pro Max. And the calculator.
Throw in like a mini Apple Pencil so that it's not like a huge one, you know? Because the
Yo.
Pencil Mini.
because the Apple Pencil is pretty big.
Apple
and if
Crayon.
if you put it on next to, I mean, even with the iPad Air already and the iPad Pro, it's pretty big. So a smaller Apple Pencil to go with it, and then tandem OLED, 120 hertz. Give it all the features. Give it all the cameras.
Oh.
All the battery. USB-C.
Also, iPads and the Mini would be best for this with MagSafe.
Yeah, MagSafe.
Because then you could use it like
Oh my God.
the Google tablet, like the Pixel tablet.
Yeah, smack that.
Which
on
seems
the
like a very
speaker.
obvious thing.
Pop it on the HomePod. Come on.
Yo, I was
It would
looking
look
up.
like a little mushroom.
On the HomePod Mini?
Yeah. Or no, maybe the main size HomePod. Either way.
I was
Apple
looking
or-
up
yeah.
iPads yesterday. I've gotten so close to buying one a few times, and I had the iPad Mini up. And if this was a real thing right now,
The iPad
I'll buy
Mini
it.
is just
I heard there is a refreshed mini coming.
it's so
If it
overrated.
had MagSafe,
Heard
It's not
that, and
gonna
then I heard it was
happen.
canceled. So
MagSafe.
now I'm not sure. And as the only iPad mini user here, I really want it.
I'm a theoretical iPad mini user.
I want to be an iPad mini user so badly, but I can't put myself through it with the existing iPad mini. So
Yeah.
I'm just hoping.
Also, the 11-inch Pro is so good that it's hard to.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
just give me basically like an 8. Like a Nexus 9. Remember the Nexus 9?
There's also a Nexus 7.
Nexus 7. Ooh, Nexus 7 was nice too.
There
But
were
it had
two
big
Nexuses.
bezels.
It did.
So maybe 8 is
But it
a
had
good
a really
size.
nice soft touch back.
Yeah. We're getting off track.
We are. I have
S tier.
I have one.
S tier.
I have one more.
S Pro Max
before
tier.
the episode ends. It's trivia, but it's right now, and I'm doing it.
S tier.
Oh,
F tier, if I get it wrong.
this music right now.
There we go. I cannot believe I messed up that button press. That's like the most embarrassing point of my.
If I get the question right, it's
My
S tier.
career.
If I get it wrong, it's F tier.
All right, question number 1. Bananabin is one of many very useful utility apps for macOS, but macOS's close cousin iOS has had more than its fair share of completely useless apps. Which of the following iOS apps is a fake app? A. Blower. An app that runs your phone's speaker so hard you can use it to blow out candles. B. BOV Turbo. Mount your phone to the windshield or A-pillar of your car and it will display a fake boost gauge which reacts to the movements of your car. It will even lag and play a psh sound to make it feel all the more real. C. Cookie Clicker, and I'm reading from Wikipedia. The user initially clicks on a big cookie on the screen, earning a single cookie per click. They can then use their earned cookies to purchase assets such as cursors and other buildings that automatically produce cookies. Upgrades are also available and can improve the efficiency of clicks and buildings, among many other mechanics that allow the user to earn cookies in different ways. The game lacks a conventional ending. Or D, Chromios. The App Store now features emulators, and what better to emulate than Google's smash hit of an operating system, Chrome OS? That's right. All of your favorite Chromebook apps and experiences are now available on the iPhone.
How do you spell Chromios?
You spell it Chromi and then capital OS, like Chrome, iOS.
Oh, Chrome iOS.
Yeah. Real clever.
Bytes.
All right, guys. What do we have? Who wants to go first?
I wrote A. Blower.
A, Blower is incorrect. Blower is a real app you can download from the App Store, and it's not even free.
How does Apple? How does
You can
Apple,
pay to screw your.
How does
speaker
Apple
up.
allow that? If it's gonna just ruin your speaker.
Plays loud
Don't
noises.
ask. Marquez, I see you also put Blower.
No, I didn't.
No.
Oh, what?
That was a joke at the bottom. My actual answer was Chromios or whatever you said.
Chromios is a fake app. I made that one up. Very good.
That's what I said too.
Andrew also put Chromios. Yes, you thus far cannot run a Chromebook on your iPhone.
I was thinking of it, but I
an
thought
app
Apple would never allow somebody to like blow out their iPhone speaker.
I do just want to say also to every single member of Gen Z watching this, I am sorry that you had to just pretend that Cookie Clicker was fake. I know you all have Cookie Clicker installed on
no,
all
I know,
your
I know about
devices.
Cookie Clicker. That's why.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's not an NFT project?
No,
No.
it's real. It's like it's not just real. It's like a
gotta be.
smash, like huge hit among
Yeah.
kids.
Similar to that banana game on
Clicking
Steam.
cookies. Yeah, but this predates that by a while.
Yeah, yeah.
So we actually already did question number 2 because Adam fiendishly sprung it on our host during one of our commercial breaks. So we're going to cut to that footage now.
But first,
But
quick update on the score.
Oh no.
Marquez with 12,
Nice.
Andrew with 13, David with 13.
Oh.
and Ellis 1, 2 carry the one.
Dang. So there's 1,000. Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm just. I'm not even trying.
And we're back
No,
while
stop.
Marquez and David try to cheat their way into the answer.
It's called
Yeah.
mathematics, Adam.
There's a whole. Okay, you know what? I'm going to cut this for later. Then
What's
if you guys
a
want to
1,000
answer
times
now,
1,000? No, stop.
Wait, you're trying to limit our time?
Yeah.
Wait, what's
time limit.
happening? I didn't even. Who?
You better hurry up.
You're gonna edit this
They
that?
were trying. Yeah, they were trying to answer it now, so I'm just gonna get the timer going.
All right, I got it.
Can I have a timer later?
Andrew's spending a lot of
Why
time
do-
confused right now. He could just be getting an answer.
Normally I'm the brutal one here, but this is ridiculous.
And flip him and read.
So, Andrew, what'd you get?
Off the
Is
top.
that a trillion?
Dome.
100,000.
Million,
Nope.
billion,
David,
yeah, it is.
I wrote 1 billion.
Marquez.
So I think I wrote a trillion.
It's a trillion.
Oh, frick.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
because
right.
that's 100,000.
If I had more time to do the math.
And I think everything I wrote there is correct.
You can ignore.
That I do not know.
The reason it's 1024 is because there's 8 bytes in a bit. So you do that, multiply it by 1,000. And you
I
got
wasn't gonna get that in.
I wrote that there is a terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes, a gigabyte is 1,000 megabytes, a megabyte is 1,000 kilobytes, a kilobyte is 1,000 bytes.
Oh, I thought.
So then
Yeah.
The 24, if I understand correctly, and I encourage any and all computer scientists to tell me how wrong I am in the comments. But the reason it's the 24 is because human brains, because of our fingers and toes, like to count in a base 10 system, otherwise known as the Dewey Decimal System. That was a joke. Shut up.
I was just
what?
That was a library joke. But computers, because they do not have toes, are not super into counting
yet.
in base 10. Does Tesla not have toes?
I don't know, but
Okay.
they will soon, I'm sure.
They counted base 2, and you can't get to 1,000 evenly if you're doing powers of 2.
Gotcha.
You can only get to 1024. And for a long time, this didn't really matter because what's 24 bits
But you can't get to 1,000 evenly?
with powers of 2? The closest you can get is 1024. I think it's 2 to
What?
the 12th.
You can.
You're thinking of
Not with-
divisible by 2,
Yeah,
not
not-
the
not
power.
powers.
Power
Powers are
is
divisible.
4, 2 to the third is...
You mean just like 1, 1, 1, 1?
No, 2 to the
No,
10th
2, 2,
power
2,
is
2.
1020 is 1024. 2 to the 9th power is 512.
So it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2
Whoa.
times 2 times.
Those are computer numbers.
Oh, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Got it.
And so, technically, we measure computer storage in an alternate base 2 system. So not terabytes, we would say tebibytes. Tebibytes. So a terabyte is, as Marquez said, a trillion bytes, but there is no hard drive in the world that actually has a terabyte on it. It actually has a tebibyte on it, and they just assume
I see.
you don't care enough.
Yeah, right.
And we're back, and Marquez was the only one that got that answer correct. So now everyone is tied at 13.
Oh.
This is the closest game we've
Whoa.
had in such a long time.
This is also maybe the trivia extravaganza should only be worth single points.
1.
Nah.
1 point at the end.
No, it's going to be like 47 points.
Is it even a trivia
We all fight
extravaganza
for
if
1
it doesn't
point.
render? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Wait,
Yeah.
there's one.
There's 1 point to win
available.
at the end.
We'll call it trivia extravaganza. Journey to carry the one. Marquez would end this podcast, but he's too busy clicking cookies.
There's
Well, hey, that's been it for this week. Clearly, there's going to be there's going to be way more fun stuff next week, like usual. We always have fun stuff to do. But of course, thanks for suggesting all the stuff that you did this week on Twitter. And of course, follow us over there if you have more suggestions or if you just want to follow us to see what else we post. Okay, that's it. Thanks. See you later. Bye.
Waveform was produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Rovin. We're partnered with Vox Media Podcast Network, and our introductory music was created by Vane Silva.
To be fair, I feel like people that played Zelda are not actually gamers.
Wow.
Because I
Clip
love,
that.
No, I
That's-
love. No,
Clip
hey,
it and upload that
I know.
to the internet straight away with you.
I love Zelda. Let me be clear.